10.
A school district looking for answers turned to a police officer and school alumnus tonight. Thanks for joining us.
It's been weeks since the Hillsborough School District was confronted with allegations of student harassment surrounding revealing pictures of Hillsborough High School students. As Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop shows us tonight, parents in the district said nothing about the district's problem.
Internet, Facebook. You are amazed at what people will put on Facebook.
The district offering a social media forum for parents. Fargo police officer and Hillsborough grad Joel Vettel told the crowd of 50 plus that people are a lot meaner online, saying things they would never say in person.
And they're doing everything online. And we need to know what those things are.
What wasn't discussed was the ongoing investigation. In early November, the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation, along with Hillsborough Police, were investigating allegations of student harassment. School officials say since last spring, parents have asked how they can handle their child's social media habits. Hillsborough High School principal says many parents feel bad invading their child's privacy.
You know, you have to move past that. I don't want to invade my child's privacy to I need to know what's going on in my children's life or my child's life. And, you know, it's important for the mental well-being of your child.
Vettel told parents that they should know their child's usernames, passwords, and set guidelines or expectations of behavior online. Many parents felt the presentation was informative and helpful.
I was really happy with the parent turnout here, for one thing. You know, it was really great. And it's ultimately up to the parents and the community as a whole to take care of our kids, you know. So I really applaud the school for doing this.
The school district asked Fargo police to present the forum on social media. District officials say they didn't ask Hillsborough police because they are involved with the allegations. Hillsborough police chief tells me this evening he was upset that he was not involved in the discussion. Mike?
Thanks, Ashley. Tonight's forum by the Fargo police officers has been done to a variety of audiences, including conferences or school resource officers.
A Fargo principal is defending his actions of banning a photo of a student from the school yearbook because he says it violates school policy. This is the picture showing Josh Renville. It's with a rifle in front of the American flag, and the teen's father wants it in the yearbook. But Fargo North principal Andy Dolan says they aren't going to put it in because it violates federal and state laws regarding firearms on school property. Dolan also says it violates the student's publication and freedom of expression policies, and he says you don't have to be on school property for those rules to be in effect.
I guess we don't think so. I mean, our thing is that it's, with regards to our policy, it's prevented from being in our school, and so therefore we believe that we can prevent it from occurring in our yearbook.
The parent is going as far as saying he wants the principal fired, but there is an appeals process available. The Renvilles will have to submit their appeal to the assistant superintendent, who has 30 days to make a ruling.
Technology keeps growing by leaps and bounds, and that's left a lot of people living in a digital stone age.
Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker shows us an app where high school students can post anonymously, and their parents can't log on to see it.
It's an app called After School, and here at West Fargo, it says that there are 737 students online. So we asked a few students if they knew about it and if they used it.
I'm not really into it, really, so that's why I don't have it. I have enough apps as it is.
I've heard some about it, some stuff about it, but I haven't heard much. All I know is that it's an app that is basically a compliments page. I don't know if it's all positivity, like nice stuff, or if it's all negative stuff.
It's basically just like an app where you can anonymously say things about other students.
And the anonymous factor is why parents and administrators who even know about it are worried about this app that is now on more than 22,000 high school campuses across the nation. You can't see what's being posted on After School unless you're a student at the school, which excludes parents and educators. But these after-school users sing praises for the anonymous posting app.
To me, the After School app means I can be myself without being judged by the people around me, and that's hard to do when you're in high school.
Everyone's just entirely open to what you have to say, and they'll just ask you questions about it.
However, the West Fargo students aren't so sure it's a good thing.
I don't think it's a good idea, personally, just because it's anonymous.
I think that by not having parental or our administration like on top of that and watching it, I think it can be dangerous.
Parents need to be involved in their children's lives a lot now because there's a lot of violence. They need to keep up with what their kids are doing just for safe reasons.
So as you can see, students know about it, but not everyone uses it. In West Fargo, Cornelius Hawker, Valley News Live.
We talked to several school districts in our area, and they said teaching kids the do's and don'ts of social media early on will help them make better decisions regarding what they post online when they are older. A large-scale warrant operation was conducted today on the Spirit Lake Indian Reservation that resulted in the arrest of 22 people. The operation located fugitives who were wanted on federal, state, local, and tribal warrants charging felony drug offenses and other serious crimes. The operation lasted 10 hours and resulted in 22 arrests, and 29 warrants were cleared. To read much more on the specific charges and more on these arrests, we have the full story online. Just head to valleynewslive.com and click on this story.
A Tennessee congressman is calling for change in using college-age kids as confidential informants. Democratic Representative Steve Cohen spoke about the issue on the U.S. House floor Tuesday after seeing a 60 Minutes report on the death of 20-year-old Andrew Sadek. Sadek's body was found in June of 2014 in the Red River with a gunshot wound to the head. Investigators haven't determined how he died, but Andrew's mom, Tammy Sadek, says her son was murdered. Cohen says he wants the Justice Department to look into how the use of confidential informants contributed to the death of Sadek.
After we ran the story about people not getting their mail in the Woodhaven neighborhood in South Fargo, it received a lot of online attention, and we wanted to clear something up. The problem is with a local contractor, not a postal union employee. The union has nothing to do with it. That comes from the Fargo postmaster, Greg Johnson. In a statement, he says the Postal Service is working with the contractor to identify issues and encourages people to contact their local post office with comments and concerns. If you want to read the full statement, go to valleynewslive.com and then click on this story.
Surveillance video was released today of a man who may have been responsible for the arson fire at a Somali-operated Juba coffee shop in Grand Forks. You can see the individual breaking the front window of the shop just before fire heavily damaged that business. The fire followed racist graffiti found on the front window of the coffee shop last weekend. A Nazi symbol with the words "Go Home" were painted on the front window of this business. At this point, there is no evidence linking the fire suspect to the racist graffiti.
If you've been at an airport lately, you may have noticed people getting around on hoverboards. They're flying off the store shelves this year. But what's the policy when you want to board a plane with one? Adrian Broaddus reports.
Hoverboards are quicker.
I normally take it with me when I travel in the airport.
And sometimes easier than walking, just as travelers Freddie Hubala and his girlfriend Alexa Moore.
We didn't want to walk.
Traveling from Minnesota to Florida, the couple learned their self-balancing electrical scooters aren't allowed at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport.
Well, TSA said we were good. One of the other airport employees that wasn't TSA said we weren't good.
Pat Hogan, a spokesperson with MSP, said in part, for safety reasons, we do not allow use of skateboards, hoverboards, or other personal mechanized transportation devices to be used in the airport. If someone has mobility issues, the airlines offer electric carts and wheelchair assistance. There have been a long list of safety concerns surrounding the popular gadget. An Alabama man said his machine erupted into flames as he rode on the sidewalk. Back at MSP, airport officials say using the device in crowded terminals creates safety issues for the user and other people in the terminal.
But they got a bunch of new rules right now, so I don't know how I feel about bringing them anymore.
Adrian Broaddus, KARE 11 News.
Now, if you are traveling at an airport that does allow hoverboards, the TSA tells you that they are allowed through security, but with extra screening.
Valley News.